Have you ever wondered about the safety of medications taken during pregnancy? It's a question that holds paramount importance, considering the potential risks and adverse effects that certain medications can pose on fetal development. Every pill, every supplement, every substance that a pregnant woman ingests can have an impact on the growing life within her. Now, let's take a step back in time to the 1950s and early 1960s, when the world experienced a significant medical catastrophe, better known as the thalidomide disaster. Thalidomide, a medication prescribed to alleviate pregnancy symptoms such as morning sickness and insomnia, turned out to be a teratogen, a substance causing congenital abnormalities. The use of this drug resulted in severe defects in babies, including limb deficiencies and non-standard shapes of arms and legs, affecting thousands of babies worldwide. The thalidomide disaster is a grim reminder of the importance of medication safety during pregnancy. In the late 1950s, a drug named thalidomide emerged as a promising solution for pregnancy symptoms. At that time, it was hailed as a wonder drug, a beacon of hope for many expectant mothers struggling with the discomforts of pregnancy. Thalidomide was initially introduced in Germany and quickly gained popularity across the globe, making its way to pharmacy shelves in over 46 countries. This drug was commonly prescribed to alleviate pregnancy symptoms such as morning sickness and insomnia. It was seen as a miracle pill, providing much-needed relief to expectant mothers during a time when they were most vulnerable. The promise of restful nights and nausea-free days was an irresistible draw for many. But it wasn't just the expectant mothers who were drawn to thalidomide. Doctors and pharmacists alike were impressed by the drug's effectiveness and its seemingly harmless nature. There were no immediate side effects, no warning signs that could have hinted at the disaster that was about to unfold. Thalidomide was seen as a breakthrough, a step forward in medical science. The drug's popularity grew rapidly, and by the early 1960s, it was being widely used. Millions of doses were distributed worldwide, and the demand for thalidomide showed no signs of slowing down. It was marketed as a safe and effective solution for morning sickness, and expectant mothers were encouraged to use it. However, beneath the surface, things were not as they seemed. As thalidomide continued to be prescribed and consumed, the first troubling reports began to trickle in. Doctors started noticing an unusual increase in the number of babies born with severe physical deformities. These were not isolated cases, but a pattern was emerging, and thalidomide was at the center of it. This was the beginning of a tragic chapter in medical history, a disaster that would change the face of drug safety and regulation forever. The use of thalidomide, however, soon turned into a tragic event. The promise of thalidomide quickly turned into a global medical disaster. This sentence rings chillingly true when we delve into the catastrophic fallout of this drug. Initially touted as a miracle cure for morning sickness and insomnia in pregnant women, thalidomide soon revealed its horrifying dark side. The drug, unfortunately, turned out to be a teratogen, a sinister term that refers to substances causing congenital abnormalities. When consumed by pregnant women, especially during the crucial first trimester, thalidomide interrupted the normal development of organs and limbs in the growing fetus. Imagine, if you will, the innocent joy of expectant parents turning into heartbreak and despair as their newborns arrived into the world with severe physical deformities. The defects ranged from limb deficiencies, such as shortened arms and legs, to more serious abnormalities. Some babies were born with improperly formed or missing organs, while others had non-standard shapes of arms and legs, a condition known as phocomelia. The scale of this disaster was not confined to a single region or country. It was a worldwide catastrophe. Thousands of babies across the globe were born with these devastating congenital defects, their lives and those of their families irrevocably altered. However, it's important to note that the impact of thalidomide was not uniformly distributed. The extent of the damage depended on when during the pregnancy thalidomide was taken. The earlier in the pregnancy, the more severe the impact on the fetus. The thalidomide disaster, as it came to be known, is one of the darkest chapters in medical history. It is a stark reminder of the potential dangers lurking behind the promise of a new drug, especially when it comes to the delicate process of pregnancy and fetal development. The thalidomide disaster led to the birth of thousands of babies with severe congenital defects. A tragic statement indeed, but it's a truth we must remember to ensure such a disaster never occurs again. The thalidomide disaster had far-reaching consequences in the field of drug safety. As the devastating impacts of thalidomide became evident, shockwaves rippled across the global medical community. Thousands of innocent lives were marred by severe physical abnormalities, a heartbreaking testament to a drug that was once thought to be a solution to common pregnancy ailments. This disaster served as a stark wake-up call, a grim reminder of the potentially catastrophic consequences of inadequate drug testing. It became clear that safety standards, particularly for drugs intended for pregnant women, were in dire need of a comprehensive overhaul. In the aftermath, a global consensus emerged to ensure such a tragedy would never repeat itself. Countries around the world tightened their drug approval processes, setting higher standards for safety and efficacy. There was a renewed emphasis on rigorous preclinical and clinical trials, with a particular focus on potential impacts on fetal development. In the United States, the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, played a pivotal role in this shift. Spurred by the thalidomide disaster, the FDA introduced amendments to the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act in the mid-60s. These amendments made it mandatory for drug manufacturers to establish not only the effectiveness of their products, but also their safety through well-controlled studies. In Europe, the European Medicines Agency, or EMA, established stricter regulations for drug approval, including more rigorous testing on reproductive toxicity. This resulted in a significant drop in the incidence of drug-induced congenital abnormalities, a testament to the effectiveness of these new standards. The thalidomide disaster also led to the creation of compensation schemes for victims in many countries, acknowledging the lifelong challenges faced by those affected. While nothing could undo the damage caused by thalidomide, these measures represented a commitment to justice and a promise to learn from past mistakes. In essence, the thalidomide disaster was a turning point, a catalyst that sparked a global shift towards safer, more responsible drug development and approval processes. Its legacy is a safer pharmaceutical landscape where the tragedy it caused serves as a constant reminder of the vital importance of rigorous drug testing. The thalidomide disaster sparked significant changes in the drug approval processes. The thalidomide disaster was a tragic event that left us with important lessons. First and foremost, it underscored the critical need for meticulous drug testing and approval processes. In the wake of the disaster, regulatory bodies worldwide implemented stringent standards to ensure the safety of medications, particularly for vulnerable groups like pregnant women. The disaster also highlighted the importance of medication safety during pregnancy. Thalidomide, once seen as a remedy for morning sickness and insomnia, became a symbol of the potential risks of medications during pregnancy. It's a testament to the fact that every drug, irrespective of its intended benefits, can have unintended and sometimes devastating effects. Finally, it reminded us of the power of collective action. The disaster sparked global outrage, leading to a united front against unsafe medications. This led to the creation of stricter controls and regulations that have undoubtedly saved countless lives since. The thalidomide disaster serves as a stark reminder of the potential risks of medications during pregnancy and the importance of continuous vigilance in drug safety.